Hi, good day everyone. Today I will present my research proposal entitled The Influence of Artificial Intelligence Adoption and Employee Digital Skills on Employee Productivity Among Employees in Commercial Bank in Penang, Malaysia. This study examined how AI adoption and employees' digital skill influence productivity in the banking sector. Artificial intelligence has become an important technology in banking. Many commercial banks use AI to automate processes and improve customer service. However, not all organizations achieve better employee productivity because some employees have insufficient digital skills and lack AI training. Furthermore, research focusing on commercial bank in Penang is still limited. For this study, I have one general objective and three specific objectives. The general objective is to examine the influence of AI adoption and employee digital skills on employee productivity among employees of commercial banks in Penang. The first specific objective is to examine the relationship between AI adoption and employee productivity. The second objective is to examine the relationship between employee digital skills and employee productivity. Finally, the third objective is to identify which factor has the greatest influence on employee activity. Based on this objective, I developed three research questions that focus on the relationship between AI adoption, employee digital skills, and employee productivity. This slide explains the literal gap and the theoretical framework that support my research. Based on previous study, many researchers have examined topics such as digital transformation technology, adoption, and employee performance. However, most of these studies investigated these variables separately or focused on organizational performance rather than employee productivity. In addition, only a limited number of studies have examined the combined influence of artificial intelligence adoption and employee digital skills on employee productivity. Particularly among commercial bank in Penang, Malaysia, this creates a research gap that my study aimed to address. To support this research, I used Technology Organization Environment (TOE) framework. Developed by Ternotsky and Fleischer, this framework explains that successful technology adoption depends on three main factors, namely technology, organizational capability, and the external environment. In the context of my study, AI adoption represents the technology factor, while employee digital skill represent the organizational capability. When employees have a strong digital skills and organization successfully implement AI technology, employee productivity is expected to improve. Therefore, the TOE framework provides a strong theoretical foundation for explaining the relationship between the independent variables and employee productivity in this research. This slide presents the conceptual framework of my study. The framework consists of two independent variables, namely artificial intelligence, AI, adoption, and employee digital skills, and one more dependent variable, which is employee productivity. The framework illustrates that both AI adoption and employee digital skills are expected to have a positive influence on employee productivity. In other words, employees are more likely to perform efficiently when AI technologies are effectively implemented and when they possess strong digital competencies. Based on this framework, two research hypotheses have been developed. Hypothesis 1 proposed that AI adoption has a significant positive relationship with employee productivity, while hypothesis 2 processes that employee digital skills also have a significant positive relationship with employee productivity. This hypothesis will be tested using statistical analysis in the later stage of the research. This slide explains the research methodology used in my study. This research adopts a quantitative, correlational, and cross-sectional research design. A quantitative approach is chosen because the study aimed to collect numerical data and examine the relationship between the research variable using statistical analysis. The target population consists of employees working in commercial bank in Penang, Malaysia. Respondents will be selected using convenient sampling, as this method is suitable due to time constraint and limited access to banking employees. Based on the Craigsy and Morgan sample size table, this study proposes a sample size of 250 respondents, which is considered sufficient for statistical analysis and hypothesis testing. This slide explains how the data will be collected and analyzed. The data will be collected using a structured questionnaire distributed through Google Form to employees of commercial bank in Penang. The questionnaire uses a 5-point Likert scales to measure respondent perception. After the data are collected, there will be an analysis using SPSS. Descriptive static will be used to describe the respondent. Pearson correlation analysis will examine the relationship between the variable, and multiple linear regression analysis will determine which factor has the strongest influence on employee productivity. Ethical considerations are very important in ensuring that this research is conducted responsibly and professionally. Firstly, participation in this study will be completely voluntary. Respondents will be informed about the purpose of the research before they decide whether to participate. They are also have the right to withdraw from the study at any time without facing any negative consequences. Secondly, confidentiality and anonymity will be strictly maintained. Respondents will not be required to provide personal information such as their name or identification number, and all responses will be kept confidential. The collected data will only be used for academic purposes and will be not shared with any unauthorized parties. Finally, the researcher will ensure that the study follow ethical research principles by respecting participant privacy, protecting their information, and reporting the finding honestly and accurately. This ethical practice helps ensure the credibility and integrity of the research. Therefore, ethical considerations are essential to protect the rights of respondents and to ensure that the research is conducted with honesty and integrity and professionalism. This study is expected to provide several important contributions to different stakeholders. Firstly, for commercial bank, the finding can help management better understanding how artificial intelligence adoption and employee digital skills influence employee productivity. This information may assist bank in planning more effectively digital transformation strategies, improving employee training programs, and enhancing overall organizational performance. Secondly, for employees, this study highlights the importance of continuously improving digital competency. Employees with stronger digital skills are expected to adopt more easily to AI technologies, perform their tasks more efficiently, and contribute more effectively to organizational goals. Thirdly, the finding may also benefit policymakers by providing useful evidence to support national initiatives related to digital transformation, AI adoption, and workforce development, particularly within the financial service industry. Finally, this research will contribute to the existing body of knowledge and serve as a useful reference for future researchers and higher education institution. It may encourage further studies on AI adoption, digital skills, and employee productivity in different industry and organizational settings. Overall, this study is expected to provide both theoretical and practical contribution that supports the successful implementation of artificial intelligence and the development of a more productive digital workforce in Malaysia. In conclusion, this study aims to examine how artificial intelligence adoption and employee digital skills influence employee productivity among employees of commercial banks in Penang. It is expected that both AI adoption and employee digital skills will positively contribute to employee productivity. The finding of this study may provide useful insight for commercial bank in improving workforce capability, supporting digital transformation, and enhancing organizational performance. Thank you very much for your attention and I appreciate your time.